Hello everyone. If I'm audible, please drop a yes message in the chat box so we can understand that you can hear us. We will start the session in next 5 minutes. Until then, hang on in the group. Hi Deepti, hi Gunaritra. If I'm audible, please drop a yes message in the chat box so we can understand that you can hear us. Thanks Deepti for the response. We'll start the session in next 5 minutes. I request you all to hold on in the room. Thank you. Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another session from Galvanize. Before getting started, just wanted to check if I'm audible to you or not. If I'm audible, please drop a yes message in the chat box so we can proceed further. I request everyone to be an active person over here. I request everyone to drop a yes message if you can hear me. Let's make it an interactive session, guys. Come on. Today's topic, your German dream, a step-by-step guide to MS, MBA, and PhD abroad. So before getting started, just wanted to give a quick brief about what is Galvanize and what we do. So what does Galvanize do? We help with end-to-end personalized solutions for students and working professionals aspiring to pursue a global degree abroad. Right from your profile building, test preparation, and admissions, we help you in each and every step. The team is managed and founded by alumni of Stanford, IIT Madras, and IIM Ahmedabad. Students from 65 plus countries have chosen Galvanize for the study abroad journey. You can see people from all over the world is using Galvanize to get the best admit abroad. Up next, we have helped students to reach 1,000 plus universities across 18 plus countries, right from US, UK, Canada, Australia, Germany, which is the hot topic today, France, Singapore, Netherlands, New Zealand, Switzerland, everything. So you name the country and we are here to help you out. Presenting you the host of the day, Sujaya Roy. Sujaya Roy that did her microbiology from LAD College, Nagpur. After that, she pursued her master's degree in marketing from New Delhi. She has 17 plus years of experience in education industry and close to a decade in handling international education. She has assisted more than 1,000 students in the domain of international education for their master's, MBA, and PhD degree abroad. She is your go-to person, guys, today. If you have any questions, post it in the chat box. Sujaya, over to you.
Thank you, Sahil. Let me share my screen first.
Yeah.
Hope I'm audible.
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. Okay. Welcome all of you all. On behalf of Galvanize, I would like to welcome everyone present here for this webinar about Germany. So before we begin, let us understand some of the figures and facts and figures about Germany, which is also mentioned in your slides. To start with, Berlin is the capital of Germany and it's the largest city in Germany as well. Germany is the fourth largest economy in the world and Europe's largest. They are also the exporter of various equipments in machinery, vehicles, and household stuffs. You have the predominant language that is spoken there is Germany, and Euro is their official language, official currency. Now, some of the cities that you could see in your slide is Berlin, Munich, Frankfurt, Hamburg. They are all the important cities of Germany, and they are also important because of the tourist destination and also for the fact that some of your favorite universities will be also present in these cities. Now, going to the next slide. Um, well, um, for any mechanical or automotive industry, Germany is the mecca for them, and the testament to the fact is the omnipresence of this magnanimous company. You could see the presence of BMW, Audi, Porsche out here, and you name it and you have it out there in Germany. Now, the entire session I have segregated into four W's. The very predominant question that comes to our mind when we think of any foreign destination is why should we go there? Where should we go there? When is the right time to apply? And what are the eligibility criteria that we should have in ourselves in order to apply there? So these are the four most important W's that we are going to cover in this session. To start with the very first W, which is the why, and the most important one also. Now, there are several advantages of studying in Germany, but we are going to discuss 8 in this slide. So, the number one would be the top quality course. Okay. Now, German universities are known for their high standards of education, and students can be rest assured that they will be trained to meet the highest standards of academic excellence. Second is the less tuition fee. So, the public universities in Germany, they are going to charge you very nominal fees or absolutely no tuition fee for the programs that you are going to do, mostly for the consecutive programs. Now, when we say consecutive program, what do they mean? They mean is, suppose you are a BTech from CS background and you want to go ahead to do your masters in CS program, then this is a consecutive program because you have not changed the domain, you have remained in the same field for your higher education. So there you are absolutely charged nothing by the public universities. It's almost kind of free. Number three is the scholarship. Now, German university offers several scholarships to the meritorious and very deserving candidates by the international students under DAAD. They are basically German Academic Exchange Service. Number five is the English mode of teaching. So, although the German university, you have German is the predominant language spoken there, but you would still get a lot of universities which are going to give you English taught programs. Okay, so you would have definitely a lot of choices in Germany also for English taught programs. Number five is the diversity. Now, student comes from all across the globe to study in Germany. So there is a tremendous diverse culture in the country. Number six is the safety. Now, Germany is known to be comparatively safer than other countries, and since the country maintains a very political, economical stability, so you can expect a very ideal place for an international student to be there. Moreover, Germany has one of the best healthcare system in the world that makes it a very safer place to go. Number seven is the travel. Again, because you would be issued the student ID pass, the travel pass when you will be studying in certain university. So that makes the usage of the public transport, with no fees or absolutely free for that region. Number eight is the 18-month work visa. Now, after you're done with your graduation, you get to stay there for a considerable amount of time period, which is 18 months, quite a lot, I mean to say. There you can actually, get these 18 months to find the job, to find the employability. So once you have the job in hand, you can immediately apply for a German resident visa. So these are the most important why that we needed to go to Germany. The second very important announcement that we needed to go, do out here is it's a very recent announcement, though, when the German Chancellor came to India, and it has been bring to our notice that around 1.7 million jobs are, still unfilled because of the critical shortage of the talent, by from in the German market. So it is basically, the government of Germany are trying very hard to pull in the international candidates, and they are going to make a lot of changes in order to bring more immigration in order to fulfill this gap. Okay, so you can expect a lot of international candidate going there in the coming years. Now, this is a very interesting slide for all of you all who are present here to understand that if I happen to study out there in Germany, what could be my expecting salary. So if you have done your master's degree from that particular country, then the starting salary would be about 55,000 euros per year, which would be, if you convert it into Indian rupees, that would be somewhere close to 52 lakhs per year. Now, bachelor's degree can also expect a very good salary of 51,000 euros per year. Again, when you convert into Indian rupees, it would be somewhere close to 48 or 9 lakhs per year. So it will all depend on what degree that you are doing, in what university that you are going to do. So this is the base minimum that you can expect. Now, this is a salary that is been segregated into sector by sector or industry by industry. The top four industry in Germany are aerospace engineers, software engineers, electrical engineers, and mechanical engineer industry. And you can see the annual starting salary would be somewhere ranging from around 59,000 euros. Okay, so on and so forth. The other industries to look for in Germany are construction, civil, robotics, process engineering. All these fields are very much in demand. Another fact that I would like to present why Germany is because in a latest survey that has been conducted by DAAD, which is the German Academic Exchange Service, in which about 200 German universities have participated, and you can see that they have anticipated about 4 lakhs international students are expected to study in the coming intakes of Germany. And the number one students that they are expecting are from India. So the you know the I mean, Indian students are very much in demand out there. So that is the reason why you should think of having Germany as one of your topmost destination, because of all the reasons that has been given right now. Coming to the facilities that as an international student you are going to get in the universities out there are, number one, that if you are an international student, you are allowed to work for about 120 full working days. So if you happen to, or if you not intend to come back to India in your semester break, you can actually use the entire time period to work there in a full stretch for 120 full working days. Or if if you happen to have your first half of an university time, then the second half you can utilize as a 240 half working days in a particular year. Now, typically, your salary would range from about 8 to 12 euros an hour, depending on the job that you would be doing. And the very interesting fact out here is in Germany, students, while studying in the university, are allowed to even work off campus. While in many countries, they are not given a chance to go off the campus. The students are allowed to do on campus job while they are studying, but off campus jobs are only allowed once you have done your graduation. But there, while you are doing your graduation, you can still go for off campus jobs outside the campus. So this is a very good plus for the students who are opting for Germany. And the third one is, if you happen to know the German language, the basic level of German proficiency is also recommended, because this kind of, entitled you for a higher wages as compared to the students who does not have any skill in German language proficiency. So these are the whys that you would needed to know. Now, having understood the whys, the next W would be where. Where in Germany I should go, and what are the types of university that I should be looking at. Now, most of the universities, or I should say almost all the universities in Germany, are categorized into 3 groups. Okay. Now, the 3 categorizations are, number one is technical university. We often call them as TU universities. The second category would be the universities of applied sciences. And the third one is the College of Art, Films and Music. Now, there is something called as TU9 university. So what are TU9 universities? I'm sure all of you all who are interested to go for Germany and have done a bit of a research, you would have gotten this terminology called as TU9. So what are these? They are mainly the 9 leading technical universities in Germany. These universities, as you can see, are WTH Aachen University. You have Technical University of Dresden, Technical University of Munich, University of Stuttgart. So all the universities are listed. They are well researched university, very, very competitive, and absolutely amazingly popular universities all across the globe. And why it is popular? Because of the kind of program that they offer, the niche programs that they offer. Okay. Now, let us understand the difference between the categorization, why these universities are categorized into these three categories, namely TU, the Applied Sciences, and University of Art, Films, and Music. Now, under TU, you can get to do your bachelor's, master's, and doctorate. But in applied sciences, you can only do your bachelor's and master's. So this is a striking difference between these two. That in TU universities, the PhD is also offered, but in applied sciences universities, the common programs are bachelor's and master's. Now, because under TU, doctorate is a part of a program, hence research plays a very important part. It's an integral part of the study, but in University of Applied Sciences, the focus remains on the application-oriented studies. Although the research is gaining importance, but the focus is still on the application-oriented study. Now, what are the kind of universities that will come under TU? So if you happen to go for any engineering program, so most of the universities in engineering will come under technical university. You have social sciences, humanity, natural science like physics, chemistry, etc. will fall under this TU universities. Which category of universities will fall under applied sciences? Again, engineering, because some part of mechanical engineering will come under applied sciences. You have electrical engineering, biomedical engineering. So some part of it will also come in applied sciences. So if you happen to go for business related programs like MBA, Masters in Management, Masters of Engineering Management, so this will come under this category. And the third one is the medicinal courses, of course, that will also come under the applied sciences category. The third one is the University of Arts and College. Now, if you have the creative knack towards your profile and your interest lies towards films, music, architecturing, wherein you need to showcase your creative side, you are very much welcome to do your bachelor's, master's, or doctorate program, depending on what stage of higher education you want to go ahead with. Here, during the admission time, you need to showcase your sample work. So, for example, if you happen to do your master's in architecture, then the portfolio is something that you needed to display at the time of your entrance examination. So, these are the specific categories for Germany that you need to know. So now that you know that, I want to go for MS in mechanical engineering or MS in computer science, what sort of categorization do I look for, and what sort of universities under which TU under applied sciences that I should be looking out for? Next. Now that you have uh, you know understood the why, where, the another factor that will come into picture is when, because this is very, very important. When should I apply in order to get my application done without any hassle, or I should be on time. So when is the right time to start the process? Now understand that there are two intakes in Germany. All right. They are the winter intake, which are the more preferred intake as compared to the summer. But even summer intakes are very much in demand. Now, winter intake generally starts in the month of September and October, and the deadline for the same will be 15th July. Summer intake will start sometime in March and April, and the deadline for the same will be 15th January. Now, when I say the deadline 15 July or 15 January, that does not mean that all the universities will have this standard deadline, because every university program wise will have a different deadline. These are the extended deadline. This means that after 15th July for winter intake, it's absolutely going to be not possible for you to apply any further. Similarly, for summer intake, 15 July, 15 January would be the stopgap, after which it will be very difficult for you to apply to that intake. So you have to watch out and be very vigilant on the program that you are applying to, on the program, what are the deadlines that has been mentioned in the website, and keep a buffer to yourself to apply to those universities. Why you would need that buffer of at least 4 to 6 weeks, which I'm going to explain in my slides to come. But this is what is the timeline that you should have. So typically a year before, if you are targeting fall 26 or the winter 26, now is the right time to actually get yourself enrolled, or start thinking about Germany as a process. Now the next the last W that we are going to understand is what are the eligibility criteria or the requirement, I should have it in me, in order to apply to those universities. Now, because we are only focusing on the master's program here, so I'm going to talk about only the master's entry requirement. Okay. So the number one is the academic percentage. Now, you need about 70%. That is the base minimum that you would need. Okay. Then you would have your English requirement, IELTS score of overall 6.5 with no band less than 6. Again, these are the base minimum. Okay, because in my very previous slide, I talked about the top quality universities and German excellence of their studies. So this is the base minimum that they are requiring. It will again depend on the type of university you are applying to. So the TU9 universities would obviously have their requirements much higher than what is given here. Minimum TOEFL requirement is 87, so no segment or section or the overall score should come below 87. Now, the importance of German language here is, even though most of the programs are English taught here, okay, but still you would need to have at least an A1 or A2 German level of proficiency done. The reason for the same is because, as I told you, that if you know German, it's needed for the survival skill, as the language spoken there is German. Also, you can expect a higher salary if you know this particular German, language. And secondly, your chances of getting admission in German universities as compared to the candidates who do not have any German skill would definitely better off if you have the German skills, at least A1, A2 done. Now, in German, Germany universities are basically they have a very they are very very focused about their documents. So here there is no concepts of applying without IELTS. Because if you happen to go to any other country, for example, US, you would see a lot of waiver given, by the universities. Even for that matter, UK universities would give you a waiver if your medium of instruction is English in India or wherever that you have studied. But in Germany, you needed to have an IELTS score for application, for applying to that university. And you also need to have a final year mark sheet in most of the universities. Now that may trigger a question that what if I am in my 6th semester or 7th semester, am I not able or am I not eligible to apply? No, you are eligible to apply, but make sure that you get the provisional degree certificate from your university from where you are studying now, because your process will begin at least a year before. That is why a provisional degree will also do, but make sure that you accumulate all these documents much before in time. The next is the universities in Germany, they do not issue any conditional offer letters. So you better have all the eligibility criteria met by you, which is being laid out by the university, because there is no such conditional, offers that's given. Ideally, some of the universities in other country, if you have not met any one particular eligibility criteria, they will give you the conditional letter in case if they have liked your overall profile, provided if you have done the prerequisites mentioned by them. But in Germany, no such conditional letters are offered, so either it's a reject or an admit. Now, courses like mechanical engineering or automotive engineering, Here, even the base minimum 70% will not work. Okay. In my previous slide, I told you that the academic percentage that you would need to have is 70%. But if you are applying to universities like the TU9 universities and also to the very niche programs like mechanical or automotive, then you need to have at least a 75% in your bachelor. Okay. And a GRE score as well, because these universities will need a GRE. 99% of the universities in Germany, they will not need a GRE, but for these particular courses, even the TU9 universities would want you to have a very competitive GRE score, as they are, as I have already mentioned, that they are very niche program, and the programs are highly competitive in nature. Now, these are the levels of German language, okay? A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, and C2. Now, even if you go for an English taught program, it is very important for you to have at least done the A1 certification, okay? Because as I have repeatedly been telling you, it's needed for your survival skill in Germany. Number two, you are preferred given a higher salary. Number three, your chances to get into any of the university gets better off if you know any German proficiency language. So A1 is recommended. Whether or not you would want to have a B1 or B2, that would depend on the university instruction. So supposedly, if you wanted to apply to an program wherein B1 certification of German is needed, then you have to have that language proficiency done. C1 and C2 are the very advanced level German proficiency. Normally, it is not expected from an international candidate to have these level done, but you have to be, knowing whether A1, A2, B1, or B2 is required by you for the programs that you are applying to. This is a general information, yet a very, very important information about the application process. Okay. So what are they? They are nothing but having an APS document. So what is an APS? APS is again an issuing body that does basically the verification of your educational documents. Okay. And it has come into amendment from year 2022, wherein the international students who are applying from China, Vietnam, or India, they are mandatory to acquire this document. Some university would want you to have this document while you are applying to the university, but it is mandatory for you to have this document while you are preparing for your visa. Okay. The average time period, the processing time for this document would be about 4 to 8 weeks. Okay, so that is the reason you have to be vigilant. Remember, I told you while we were discussing about the deadline that 15 July is the deadline, but you have to have a buffer time of at least 8 weeks, because to process these documents, to accumulate this document, you will have to have this much time in hand in order to act upon it. The sooner the merrier for you. Okay. The another thing is the VPD. The issuing body is Uni Assist. Now, what does it do? It against, evaluates your academic records. Okay. Because there are universities in Germany which does not allow you to upload your application documents directly to the university. Okay, so they would want you to first upload all your documents to Uni Assist. They will verify the documents, then they will forward it to the university for the declaration of the results. Again, the processing time would be about 4 weeks. So that is the reason you need to again have that much buffer time in hand in order to, process your application. So these are the two important factors that you need to keep in mind, whether to understand whether your university needed an Uni Assist. So you need to act accordingly and to apply for an APS as soon as you have made up your mind to go for German universities. This is a sample of an APS certificate. This is how it looks like. Okay. You can take a screenshot if you want to, just to get an idea. Now, duration and the tuition fees. Now let us talk about that. Now, what are the duration of your master's program and what are the tuition fees? Okay, it's very important. Now, most of the master's degree in Germany are for 2 years. Your intended time period would be there for 2 years. Okay. Now you can see here the tuition fee, we have very loud and clear written, is zero for most of the master's courses for public universities. So this is amazing that in Germany, you are charged nothing for your master's. And I told you it has to be in the public university and a consecutive course. Even though if they charge you something, that would be very, very nominal, as close to zero, you can say. Only you need to showcase the availability of the fund for showing your living expense. That would be about 11,904 euros per year. So this is the only amount that you needed to show during your visa, to understand that this is the living expense and you can take care of it. But tuition fees are absolutely nothing. Now, the documentation that you would need in order to apply there, of course, your undergraduate degree. So if you're doing your BTech, BSc, whatever, that you needed to have your undergraduation degree, all your semester degree, semester mark sheets, TOEFL or IELTS, proof for your English, this you need to have. Statement of purpose. This is also very, very important because you hardly get to interview there. People are not going to have an physical interaction or an online interaction with you. The statement of purpose is the way to actually tell a lot about you, as in about your achievements, your accomplishments. So you make sure that you make it very, very strongly, because that is as important as having a good score in GRE, IELTS, and in your academic career. Third is your letter of recommendation. Of course, you would need that. Ideally, you would need 3 letter of recommendation. So two from your workplace, two from your university professors, and if you are a working candidate, then one can be from your workplace also. But you would need 3 minimum letter of recommendation. You need to have a very, very strong resume. You need to know how to make the resume, okay, in order to put forward the application. Of course, a valid passport and GRE for certain courses, as I have told you, which programs would need a GRE, and GMAT for business related courses. Now, understand the requirement for a visa checklist. Of course, a passport. Now, you would also need to have a photocopy of your front and the back page of your passport in an A4 size copy. Then 3 passport size pictures, which is very specific to the country requirement. This is important that you need to have a cover letter wherein you need to showcase, explain the exact purpose of you going to Germany and your duration of stay. Then your official admission letter, the electronic version, is also okay, wherein all the details about your tuition fees and everything is mentioned. Then all your academic qualification from 10th, 12th, or graduation, all of that. Then proof of language proficiency. For English, you need to have your IELTS or TOEFL and German, whatever level of examination that you needed to have, you need to take that. Again, you must be wondering from which particular institution I should go for having my German level of proficiency done. So in that case, you can, check the Goethe institution. Goethe institutions are widely present in tier 1 and tier 2 cities in India. And because that is the only institution which gives the certification for A1, A2, B1, B2, which are basically are accepted by the German universities. So you can see your language proficiency for that. Then, as mentioned, that you need to showcase the proof of having at least 11,904 euros in your account. This is known as the blocked account. There are several financial institutions in India which helps you to format this blocked account. In Galvanize, we also do it for our enrolled student. You need your travel and health insurance, for your visa requirement. And lastly is your APS certificate. This is the mandatory certificate as I spoke, and you need to have that. Now, let us take some very basic and the common question that comes, in a session like this. So the number one question is, does Germany accept 3 years bachelor's degree to apply for courses? So answer to it is yes. 3 year bachelor's is accepted to apply to the master's degree if you want to do it from a private institution. But for a public university, you need to have a 4 years of bachelor's degree. Number two is how many backlogs are acceptable in Germany? As because it has its own very high standards of academic excellence, it is recommended that you should have all your backlog being cleared by the time you are going to apply to that university. But then there are certain exceptions. Few universities are there which still accepts up to 15 backlogs, but again you need to clear them off before you enroll yourselves to that university. Number three is what are the documents that you would require? I have already said about the documents that you would require. So these are your documentation that you would need to have, during your application process. If you are applying to any creative field under the film, music, architecture, or any other, related field which needed to showcase your project synopsis, you need to also have that. And if you are a working candidature, then of course you would need your work experience letter as well. Then what is the age limit for applying in Germany? So up to 30 years basically. So this is the stopgap time. Till 30 years you can apply for your masters. Beyond that, it is not advisable and recommended. Now let us just see some of our students from Galvanize who in recent past have made it to the great German universities. He is Shyam Sundar. He is from IIT Madras. He has done his BTech in electrical engineering, and he went to do his MS in data science from Ludwig Max University present in Munich, LMU. Now, the testament to the fact that I was talking about that you need to have a great CGPA, good GRE. So this is what it is. So you see his overall CGPA is 9.04. His GRE was 370 and he has a TOEFL score of 110. And that's why he could made it to this amazing university. Another student is again Shyam from SVCE. He's BE in mechanical engineering. He is about having close to 8 CGPA with a score of IELTS 7. He has gone to do his MS in autonomy technologies in FAU college university. That's also very well known for his typical niche program that it offers. Pavitra R from RIT Kachipuram. She's also a BE in mechanical engineering. Again, CGPA played a vital role. She got it into the university in Bonn in MS in computer science with an IELTS score of 7. We have D. Rohit. He's from IIT Bhilai. Again, he's done his BE in mechanical engineering, but he shifted his domain to do his MS in physics, and he has all the related interest line, work for samples that he showcased during his admission cycle, and he made it to University of Leipzig. His overall CGPA is again 9.1. His IELTS score is 6, but because he had shown a lot of sample work, his lot of interest, portfolios and research, he has also had certain publications that really had helped him to get an university in Leipzig in MS in physics. Then Ria, She's from Satyabhama Institute of Science and Technology. She's gone to University of Freiburg in MS in Computer Science. Her overall CGPA is 7.5 with an IELTS score of again 6. Kevin, he's also done his BE in Mechanical Engineering with again an overall CGPA of 9.354. He's got into Technical University of Berlin in MS in Computer Science with an IELTS score of 7.5. Then Ashwin Manoj, he's from VIT Chennai. He's done his B in Production Engineering and is currently doing his MSc System Engineering for Manufacturing. You can see his test scores and his CGPA. It's displayed in the screen. CGPA of 8.15 and IELTS score of 7. Yashraj, he's done his bachelor's from universities at Texas, but he has taken our help for the admit in MS in data science. And he received the admit from Rowan University. So you can see his overall CGPA 4.2 out of 5, IELTS score of 7.5. Rahul V from VIT Vellore. So all these admits are basically from the very recent past. Even for some of them are as recent as this fall 25 they are going to go. He has gotten an admit for Berlin University of Applied Sciences. He's in MS in Engineering and Sustainable Technology Management. Overall CGPA is 8.2, and because he has applied to management related program, or it is advised for him to go for a GRE, and he scored 311. Bhavya ji, he's BA honors in economics. So even if you have a 3 years of degree, you are very much welcome to apply to Germany, because again it is very evident that this student has also got MS in economics from Humboldt University of Berlin, and overall CGPA of 7.27, and again an IELTS score of 7.5. Pranisha, NMIMS Shirpur, MS in Autonomous System, Horseshoe Born Rain Sage University, she has an admit for, and again the overall CGPA is very good, 3.13 out of 4, and IELTS score of about 8. So this is in nutshell about what you need, what are the eligibility criteria, what all documents you would need. In a short while from now, I would take the live questions from you, and I hope this webinar was very helpful and may have been able to, make you all clear about the certain facts that you would needed to understand about Germany. Thank you so much for attending. Over to you, Sahil.
Thanks, Sujaya. That was really helpful. And I would request everyone to start posting your questions in the chat box, and she will start taking it in a while. Like before we proceed with the Q&A session, I just wanted to give a quick introduction about Galvanize, like how we will make your journey come true. Just give me a minute. So yes, so here are some perks and advantages of our test prep courses. So features are like we have completely personalized study plan for you guys, unlimited Ask to an Expert, in-depth analytics and feedback, personalized AWA grading for your GRE, practice questions, full and practice tests. The benefits are the test patterns are up to date. It's the most affordable course you will get in the market, and you'll find the complete solution in one particular package. Know where you stand among others. It's an easy way of learning, and you will get an expert guidance whenever you need. Up next, here's a complete end-to-end solution for your admission counseling, like how it works. Basically, first there will be an onboarding call, a profile evaluation call, where we will ask you to fill a huge Q&A, like it's a 32 questions form where you have to tell it about yourself, your requirements. Based on that, we will shortlist your universities. It will be divided into ambitious, practical, and safe. Up next, we will help you with the final draft of your resume, SOP, LOR, based on the inputs given by you. So whatever input you give, we will help you in crafting the SOP, LOR, and the resume in a right way. Then we will guide you with the visa process. Then financing, like we'll also help you finding the best loan partners based on their requirements. Up next, we'll also help with the pre-departure services. So I hope you guys understood what the process is. Up next, we have 1 million plus users from 195 plus countries. I'll be sharing you the Quora links where students have posted their feedbacks. So yeah, now you can start posting your questions in the chat box and Sujaya will take over. You can also raise your hands, I can unmute you, and you can ask your questions over here. I request you to post your questions in the chat box so Sujaya can start taking it. Okay, there's a question from Shivadarshini, Sujaya. The degree certificate is required in the application process, but my course got over only in May 2026. What should I do if I want to go for winter 2026 intake?
Okay, hi. So if you want to apply for winter 26, as I mentioned, if you do not have your final year mark sheet with you, at least you can go for asking for a provisional degree from your university, which is also good to go for applying to the universities in Germany. Next question.
Yeah. So there's a person asking about the prices of a service. So the prices varies based on your profile. Our expert will get in touch with you, Deepthi, so you can discuss and get to know about the prices.
Okay. There is a question from Harish. Is APS certificate required in Germany, and how much time will it take to get it after submitting the documents? Yes, APS certificate is mandatory for you to have it in Germany. The processing time for the same would be about 4 to 8 weeks. So you need to have that much time in hand in order to process that document and get it while you apply to the universities. There is another student called Khushali Desai who asked, Ma'am, I want to ask you about the LOR. You stated that in total 3 LORs are required, 2 from professors, 1 from workplace. So by workspace, do you refer any only jobs or else internships? Or if we have worked under any mentor or guide or also permissible? No, from workplace, you can also take it from your internship, from the person under whom you have done your internship, that is also acceptable. So but you would need 3. There is another question from Sharan Karthik. He said that, hello ma'am, I have already enrolled in Galvanize last month. I just want to know what should be ideal timeline to give the test a start, prepare my application, given my BTech ECE gets over by July 26. So this is the right time, Sharan, to start with the process. Because as I said that there are a lot of things or factors that you need to consider while you apply to any German university. First of all, you needed to understand what all documents, because they are also specific to the program that you are applying to. Secondly, whether the university would need directly or they want it through Uni Assist. So that is also one thing that you would needed to have, understand and apply accordingly. Third one is your APS certificate, as it is mandatory, and as I have been stating that it is very important and mandatory for you to have it. So as soon as possible. So for July intake, the winter intake, you have to start get going from now itself. Okay, thank you. Any more
There is a
questions?
question from Shivadarshini ma'am again.
Okay.
Apart from APS, is VPD also mandatory?
VPD is mandatory only by the university if they need it. Not all universities would want your application through VPD or Uni Assist. So again, depending on which university would want you to have it through them, you have to apply accordingly.
There's one more question from Navneet Narayanan. I'll be graduating in June 2026. If I'm targeting for winter intake, that is September 2026, so the deadline for the complete application procedure will be 15 July of 2026 itself. Am I correct?
Yes, you are correct. But as I mentioned, that this will be the extended deadline. Okay. Now, depending on which program you are applying, they might have it in January or might have it in February, March. So again, that is the extended deadline that I mentioned, by which the application process will stop for 2026 September intake. So you have to be vigilant about the deadline because it will depend or vary from university and program wise.
Yeah, that's it, I guess, ma'am. There are no more questions over here. But before we wrap up, I just wanted to give a quick update, like how important it is to start early. What difference it will make in their journey. Can you just give a short note about it?
How important it is to start early? Of course, it is important because of the various factor. I repeat myself again in this, that number one is German universities are very documented based application. So you sometimes they would even want you to mail the hard copies. Okay, so that is number one. So you would need time to do that. Number two is your VPD uni assist you if you're, because as I mentioned, some of the universities would want you to have your documents coming through them, and their processing time is minimum 4 weeks. So you needed to have that much time in hand. Thirdly, the deadlines varies. You know, some universities might have deadline in March for the September intake. So you never know, right? So if you think about July as a deadline, you might miss out on the fact. Fourthly, that it is just not about applying to the universities. You know, how you're going to apply is also very, very important. So you need to have a strategy to know when should I write my IELTS. If my, university wants me to write the GRE, when should I write the GRE? What is the exact timeline that I should be starting to write my SOP? When should the right time to get approach my professor to get the details, so SOP again plays a very vital role, because as I mentioned that there are no interaction online wherein you can speak about the volumes of the profile that you have. It is just only about how you're going to write it and present it to the university. And this writing takes a lot of time, lot of iterations to done, and these are the time consuming process. So for September 2026, students are required to start their preparation as early as now. As in today, we are on 14th May. So it is also important for us to start it right now, because this will give us a time to think about, time to strategize, time to chalk out the plan, time to implement them perfectly, time to have all the universities in kitty, not to have the fear of missing the deadlines. So these are going to play an important vital role.
Thanks, ma'am. That was really helpful. Like, I hope all the students understood the importance of starting early. So yeah, I've shared. I have shared a profile evaluation link on the chat box, guys. So I request everyone to fill it up. Talk to a senior advisor at Galvanize, and we'll help you to know how soon you have to start. Until next time, thanks, guys. Thanks, Sujaya ma'am, for joining this wonderful session and giving the best outcome possible.
Thank you, Sahil. Thank you all over again to all the students for joining in.